Hello guys, this is Grumpy. This is a tutorial on how to play Dominion Online. Now, Dominion Online is an online version of a real-world card game, similar to a game like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or Magic the Gathering. This game varies from those games though, because those games are called collectible card games. That means is you go out and buy booster packs, and each booster pack has a totally random set of cards in them. And to actually be effective at the game, you have to spend more money. And more money, the more money you spend, the better your deck is, the better chances you have at winning. So if you ever play like a Magic the Gathering tournament, like I say at a comic book store, you know, generally the guy who spends the most money wins the tournament. Unless he's just like a total idiot. I mean, if you're stupid, it don't matter how much money you spend on the game, you're still going to lose. But anyway, this game is different. It's not a collectible card game. If you go out and buy this game, you buy it at a place like Barnes and Noble or at a comic book store. You buy a base set. It's a big, huge box, and it comes with 400 or 500 cards. And it's like $45. And you get the same exact cards as everybody else. So if I buy Dominion at a comic book store and you buy it, we're going to have the exact same cards. So it's not one of those games where whoever spends the most money wins. So anyway, this Dominion Online is the online version of that game. It's a free-to-play game, but it's not a cheap Facebook game or something like that. If you notice there's no ads, you might be wondering how they make their money then. Well, they make their money by selling expansions. So let's click this right here. Here's the store. And in the store, you could buy expansions. So here at the top, you can see the names of the expansions. You got Intrigue, Seaside, Prosperity, Guilds, Hinterlands, Dark Ages. If you decide you like this game, I'd recommend getting Prosperity first. It's the one most people like the most. Online here, it's $7. So this is where they're making their money. They make their money by selling the expansions. Now, the cool thing about this game is you could play against somebody who owns the expansion. If you don't own it, you can still play them. They just have to initiate the game. So if I wanted to play this game with my girlfriend, say I own it and she doesn't, I just have to be the one to initiate the game. So like I say, once again, this is not a game that comes down to whoever spent the most money. But the expansions, they do cost a little bit of money. It's like $7. That seems like a lot of money. But here's the thing. In the real world, if you buy the Prosperity expansion, like at a comic book store, it's $45. It costs the same amount as the base game. So here you're saving, I don't know the math on that, but you're saving like 80 or 90%. It's 80 or 90% off of whatever you play in the real world. So if you decide you like this game and you buy just the Prosperity pack, you spend a grand total of $7. In the real world, to buy the base set and the Prosperity, it would have cost you $90. So playing the online version is definitely a lot cheaper. And it's also easier to find an opponent because, like, you know, a real world game, you got to go to a comic book store and hope they're playing whatever game you're wanting to play that day and this and that. Here, I could start up a game right now and find some player. He might be in Korea or the UK or North Dakota or wherever, but I'd be able to find the game, so it's awesome. Once again, try this game out. It's free to play. It's just like if you like it, you can buy more cards for it. But anyway, this video is going to kind of be a tutorial because, well, you can't play the game until you know how to play it. So I'm just going to be playing a game with bots here. Now, you can sign up here, but you don't have to sign up. There's a couple advantages to signing up. First of all, there's a ladder system where it'll rank you, like so you're ranked against the other players who play the game. And secondly, if you buy cards, those cards need to be linked to an account, so you need to sign up. Now, to sign up, you can just log in with Facebook. That's what I do. I log in with Facebook, and I have bought 3 or 4 expansions. So I've spent $25 or $30 on this game myself over the course of a few months. And so those purchases are linked to my Facebook account. But anyway, for this particular video, I'm not going to be signing in. If you don't sign in, what happens is you're only going to be playing with the base cards, and that's what I want to do. If I actually sign in, I'm going to have like 100 different cards extra, and it'll just make it a little harder to teach the game. So anyway, I'm going to play against the bots. I can play a 2-player, 3-player, 4-player game. I'm just going to play a 2-player game. And very short load screen. there we go. We're in the game. So let me turn my volume up just a hair. Okay, so let's go over a little bit about how this works. First of all, the object of the game is to have the most victory points whenever the game ends. So here are the victory points. These green cards here on the left. And by the way, if I click any card, it'll blow it up. So they just got them shrunk down in this. They look like squares just so they all fit on the screen. But physically, in the real world, they look like playing cards. They're very high quality cards, just like Magic the Gathering. You see they all got pretty good artwork. There's a militia card. I won't go over all the cards in this game. Basically, this game, you just need to learn what the cards do by reading them. Okay, so if you notice on every card, there's two numbers. There's a number in the bottom left and a number in the bottom right. First of all, the number in the top right just tells you how many cards are in the pile. So it tells you there's 8 province cards here, 8 duchies, 8 estates, 10 cellars, 10 chapels, etc., etc. The number in the bottom left is the cost of the card. You have to buy cards in this game. That's why it's called a deck building game. You start off with just a deck of 10 cards. You've got the exact same 10 cards as your opponent. You both start the game with the exact 10 cards. Exact same 10 cards. So the cards are 7 copper and 3 estates. So here's the coppers. They're worth one coin. And here's the estates. They're worth 1 victory point. And so when the game starts, you get those 7 coppers and 3 estates. You shuffle them up, and then you draw 5. In this game, you always start off each turn, the beginning of each turn, by drawing 5 cards. You start the game off by drawing 5 cards. So there's a little randomness and luck to it, but there's also a lot of strategy. And by the way, you see these cards, 10 cards here in the middle. There's 2 rows of 5. These are called kingdom cards. As you can see right here, there's 10 in each pile, except the gardens. There's only 8 there. I won't go into that, but there's a reason why there's only 8 there. But when you buy the physical game or when you play online, there's actually 25 different types of kingdom cards, but we're only seeing 10 of them right here. And so what the computer does is it chooses 10 cards at random out of that pool of 25 cards. So no 2 games are alike. And actually, if you own 3 or 4 expansions, the number of combinations of different cards you can have during the game, it's astronomical. It's way up in the trillions and trillions and trillions. So no 2 games are ever alike. And so that makes it really cool. So there's some luck there. And you're going to have to learn the cards, and there's some strategy to it. But since there's no 2 games alike, it makes the game very interesting. Okay, so next we have, first of all, we had these cards over here. These are the victory point cards. In the middle, we had kingdom cards. And here on the right, we have coins. The coins are used to buy all the cards. So you start the game off with just coppers. But as the game goes along, you're going to buy silver and gold, which are worth more money. So like say, for example, right now I want to buy this province card. It's worth 8 coins. There's no way I could ever have 8 coins in my hand with a starting deck. Because first of all, I'm only going to have 5 cards. And all these cards are going to be worth 1. So what I'm going to do as the game goes along, I'm going to buy better money. And with the better money, then I'll be able to afford more expensive stuff. So let's go ahead and play our treasures. That instantly gave us 4 coins. Oh, by the way, there's three phases to a turn. There's action phase, buy phase, and cleanup phase. You can remember that by A, B, C. There's actually a D too. D is draw. You draw 5 cards to start at the game, but what you do at the end of every turn is you discard whatever you have in your hand and you draw 5 more. So the last phase is actually D. So you got A, B, C, and D. D is the draw phase. So anyway. Well, you got 4 coins. So as you can see, there's some little plus symbols next to some of the cards. That means those are cards we can buy. So if I want to buy that card, I can just click on the plus symbol. So for this particular game, I want to buy this militia first. Let me show you what that does. This is an action card, so I want to play this during my action phase. So when I play this, I'll instantly get 2 coins, and each other player discards down to 3 cards in his hand. So that's a very good card early on. Not so much in the mid to late game, but early on it's pretty decent. Okay, so next got 3 coins. I'm going to buy silver. That's going to be a little bit better. So my hand's gonna get, my deck's gonna get a little more powerful as I go along. See, now I've got 3 more coins. I'm going to buy. Let me see what that seller does. 1 action, discard any number of cards, plus 1 card. Okay, so basically what this card right here does, it lets you get rid of cards in your hand you don't like and draw new ones. So I'm just going to get another silver piece. So now I have to discard down to 3 cards. So as you can see right here, my hand is getting a little more powerful. Now he forced me to discard a couple of cards, but I still have 5 coins in my hand. I've got 2, 1, and then 2 here. So I'm going to play the militia. That's action card. So I'll play it during my action phase. So that gives me 2 coins, and that forces him to discard. So if you look right here, it shows how many actions, how many buys, and how many coins I have. So let's go ahead and play our treasures. Now we have 5 coins. Now here's what I want to buy now. I want to buy a witch. Witch is a very nasty card. Let me show you what the witch does. When you play it, you draw 2 more cards, and each other player gains a curse card. That is a very nasty thing to do to another player. Okay, he's going to make me discard 2 cards again. Okay, let me show you what this curse does. Here's a curse. It gives you -1 victory points. So if you remember me telling you the way you win the game is by having more victory points than the other guy, well, you can either gain victory points or make the other player lose victory points. And so that card makes the other guy lose the victory points. But that's actually not the worst of it. The worst of it is it's watering down his hand too. So if I can make him, see there's 10 curses here. If I can manage to give him all 10 of those curses, his hand's going to be watered down. It's going to be totally worthless cards because he's going to have 5 cards at the start of his turn. And if 3 of them are curses, he's just completely screwed. It's like he's only got 2 cards in his hand. So I'm going to go and play the witch now. I'll get 2 cards and he gets the curse. So he gained a curse card. So now I'll play treasures. And what can I do? Oh, this gardens here is kind of nice. It's a little too early on to buy it, but let me see what it does. Worth 1 victory point. For every 10 cards in your deck, round it down. So if I have 30 cards in my deck at the end of the game, each one of these gardens is worth 3 victory points. It's not a very good card early on. Early on in the game, you don't have a whole lot of cards in your hand, and you don't want to water your deck down. So you'll play like 10 or 15 or 20 turns before you start worrying about victory points. So I'm going to buy another militia, and that'll help screw him over. So I play the militia. It gives me 2 coins, and it makes him discard. I play my treasure, and now I have 6 coins. So what am I going to do with that? I'm going to buy a gold piece. These are worth 3. So those are pretty nice. So it kind of goes on like this. It's almost like kind of like solitaire because it's not like you don't have creatures and you're not attacking. Your creatures aren't attacking his creatures. It's almost kind of like you're playing solitaire, but against another player. It's kind of cool. Like I say, me and my girlfriend played a lot. I actually own the base set, but we don't ever play anymore because the online is pretty cool. Because it's like, if you can imagine, there's 300 or 400 cards in this game, and they're all neatly arranged in a box, and you have to randomly pick 10 of them, and you have to lay them all out. Look at all these cards, but you have to lay them all out. It's easier just to play it online. So we never play the physical game that much. I'm going to buy another witch. We're going to screw him over. Basically, if you can manage to get all the other players the curses early on in the game, it completely screws them over for the rest of the game. Now I got 5 coins. I'm going to buy another witch. Probably won't buy too many. I probably won't buy any more than that. Generally, you don't have to buy too many of them. Later on in the game, once all the curses are gone, the witch card isn't quite as powerful because... now here's the decision. Am I going to do the witch? I'm going to do the witch. I want to keep making him I want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. See, the AI may decide to start buying witches, and at that point in time, he's going to start cursing me too. So I'm going to try to get rid of all the witches before he gives them to me. Well, here I'm going to buy. See, he's already buying these gardens up. I will go ahead and buy. I'll go ahead and buy garden 2 since he's buying them. So now I have to discard 3 cards. I'm going to discard I don't know what I want to discard. I want to discard that and the witch. Or not the witch, so another coin. I'm just going to keep cursing them. That's going to really put a hurting on him in the late game. Now, see, there is counter strategies to this game. Like, say for example, he's getting loaded down with these curses right now. I've already given him 4 of them. He could play what's called, he could get this card right here. It's called Chapel. This is trash up to 4 cards from your hand. Well, what it means to trash a card, it means to remove it from the game. So it doesn't go in the discard pile. It just goes to the side. It goes into what's called your trash pile, and it's out of the game for the rest of the game. The card no longer exists. So chapels are really good for getting rid of cards that you don't want. So you don't necessarily just want to get rid of just curses. You could get rid of these estates too, because they're not worth very many victory points. They're only worth 1. So you have to have 6 of these estates just to have the same amount of victory points as 1 province. So it's a pretty good idea too to get rid of the estates. And later on you get rid of the copper coins too, and you'll replace them with gold pieces and silver pieces. So what am I going to buy? I'm not going to buy anything. So there we go. So now I have to discard 2 cards. Oh, here we go. We're already getting down into the point in the game where we buy victory points. So I have 8 coins. I'm going to go ahead and buy a province. That's worth 6 victory points. That's a lot of victory points. So he has to start buying these victory points a lot too, or he's going to start falling behind. So now I got 5 coins. I'm going to go ahead and buy. I'll go ahead and buy another guard. I'll go ahead and buy a guard. I'm just going to keep him from buying them. I'm going to play a witch. There we go. Water down his hand even more. 5 coins. What are we going to buy? I will buy another one of these. Now, see, this is where this militia card is not as good anymore, because I had to discard down to 3 cards. I'm going to be discarding victory points, so it's not a very powerful card anymore. Like, say, for example, here, he has to discard down to 2 cards and I'll play that, but honestly, he probably just discarded some curses, so it's not hurting him so much in the late game. And we'll buy another gold piece. We'll curse them again. Now, as soon as we run out of curse cards, I could get rid of these witches too. I could buy Chapel and then trash the witch cards. There we go. We got 6 coins again. Buy another gold piece. So my deck's getting a lot more powerful. So what am I going to get rid of? I want to get rid of these 2 militias. Because I only have 1 action, I'm going to play that witch again. So I'm going to buy the last garden card. There we go. Play 5. Okay, what can I buy? I'm going to go ahead and buy Duchy. I'll go ahead and buy another Duchy. And let's see, how many coins do we have? We have 8 coins. We'll buy a province. So it seems like it's kind of, these games can go different ways a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm winning right now because I'm buying up with these provinces, but this could hurt me because if you get too many victory points early on, then your deck's loaded down. But I don't think that's quite the case yet. So, what am I going to buy now? I'm going to buy, what's that council room? This is a good card. 4 cards, 1 buy, and each other player draws a card. I'm going to buy that council room. Now, generally what you want to buy is the most expensive cards you can afford, but not necessarily always the case. Basically what I want the extra buy, so let me go over that here in a second. I guess I should explain that card a little better. Okay, the council room, when you play it, gives you 4 cards, so you draw 4 extra cards, and it gives you 1 buy. Each other player draws a card. Because it gives you an extra buy, it means you can buy 2 cards during 1 turn, so that's pretty powerful. What am I going to buy? I'm going to go ahead and buy Chapel. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that Chapel card to get rid of cards I don't want anymore. Like the Witches. We only got one curse left. Now all the curses are gone. And so the Witch card isn't quite as good anymore. But I put a severe hurting on the AI because the AI has a very watered down hand. And you see that Militia, not that good of a card anymore. It gives you 2 coins. That's about it. Discarding doesn't hurt you in the late game because all you're doing is discarding curses and victory points, that kind of thing. Now, one thing I don't like about the online version is the AI goes by so fast that you can't see what the AI is doing. But like I said earlier, it's more like a solitaire game. What your opponent does really doesn't affect what you do. It's not like a game where you've got counter strategies. It's more like you figure out your own strategy to win, and regardless of what the other player does, your strategy won't change a whole lot. Okay, I'll go ahead and buy another silver piece. So I'm going to play the Witch. That's going to let me draw 2 more cards. Yeah. We will buy a Duchy. So that's the end of the game. So I barely won. Here's the victory points over here. Now it seemed like I was winning a lot more than that, but apparently the computer says I was only winning by 6. So let's go over how it went. First of all, he got all 10 curses. So you can see that put a hurting on him. If he didn't have those 10 curses, he actually would have won. I had 2 provinces. He had 1, so that gave me 6 extra victory points. He actually had more gardens than I did, so he got 16 points off that. I got 12. He got a lot more of the duchies. He got 5 duchies. I only got 3. We were tied here. So basically I won, but that's it. It's a very fun game. It's free to play. This was the base game, and if you like this game, you get burned out. Like after a couple weeks, you get burned out on the base cards. Buy an expansion for $7. So it's a great game. But anyway, this is Grumpy. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about it. If you want to see me do some other free games or whatnot. What's your opinion on this game?